Okay, now let's analyze the situation, how to calculate the factorial of a number using a for loop. So here the iterator for the I value starts from the value 1, it goes to the value of 5, and fact is initially initialized to 1. So the fact into factor is iterative process that's continuing with every iterative value of I. So here I takes the value 1. When I take the value 1, the step 1 proceeds where 1 into 1 happens, that the resulting value of the fact is 1. And the next step, the iterator value counts takes the value I is equal to I plus 1 and I iterates to the value 2. And the resulting value of the fact becomes 1 into 2, that is 2. And the next step, again, when it reaches the step 3, the iterative value of I is 3, and the resulting value of the fact becomes 3 into 2, that is 6. And as the iterative value in the next step reaches 4, the resulting value of the fact becomes 6 into 4, that is 24. And in the next step, the iterative value of I reaches 5, and the resulting value of the fact becomes 24 into 5, that is 120. And when I reaches the value 5, the factorial stops iterating for the value of I, and the for loop makes an exit over there, and the resulting value of the fact is printed as 120. And let's analyze the situation, how it happens in case of a Visual Studio. So we'll go for the Visual Studio Code and try to analyze the situation, how it happens. Now the console.add method helps the user-friendly to enter the value by means of the fact, by telling the statement, enter the number to calculate the factorial. So when this prompting question is asked by the compiler, the user-friendly enters a number in the form of the int quantity called num, and the num has been accepted with the help by the compiler by the console read method. And as the compiler accepts with the console read line method, and it also needs the help of the convert-int32 method, as the int is in the form of a string, and string has to be converted into a int quantity explicitly, as the compiler cannot do it implicitly. As the num has been reached to the compiler, the fact is initialized to 1, and int is I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to num, and I plus plus happens inside the for loop, where as if the num is 5, then I will take the value 1 until it reaches the value called 5. That is I 1 to 5, as we explained in the block diagram. Now, so here for every iterative value of I, the fact star I, the multiplication process happens, as we discussed previously in the block diagram. And once the iterative value stops, when I reaches the value num, the iterative value of I stops, and fact resulting value of the fact, that is fact star I, is printed, and that is printing value happens in the console add method over here, and followed by console read. Now we can go for the build option. We check out for the build up issues, and we can see the left bottom corner, it's free of all the build up issues here. So we go for the start of the page and go for the debugging session of the page, where exactly the big debugged output is available. Yeah, we can see, the compiler is asking for the number for which we need to enter the value of the factorial. So if we enter the number to be 6, so the factorial value of 6 is 720. That is 120 into 6 becomes 720. So that is the resulting value of the factorial being calculated using a for loop.